Okay, first I'm going to get to the crust on these cheesecake cupcakes, and it just doesn't get much easier than this. We're starting with 3 tablespoons of butter. Pardon me? I'm going to melt that. Yes, I'm going to melt my butter. Anne was saying, you got to melt the butter. I know that. In fact, one of my favorite parts about cheesecake is that buttery, graham crackery crust. So got to have one of those in these cupcakes. So it's just as easy as a few tablespoons of melted butter, some graham cracker crumbs, which the greatest invention ever is now they already come already crushed for you in a box, which is fantastic. I know Anne loves that. Or you could just take graham crackers and crush them up yourself. So 3 tablespoons of melted butter, a half of a cup, and I like to go heavy on the crust because I'm a big crust person. So there's going to be plenty of crust in each of these little cupcakes, and then 2 tablespoons of sugar. So that's the basis of our graham cracker crust. Easy, easy enough. And then I'm found these cute little foil liners that are red for Valentine's Day, but any kind of foil liners are going to work best. So we're going to line our cupcake tin. This recipe makes 6 of these, so it's a nice size for a family, but if you need to bring treats to the office, you can double or, just depends on how many you make, but this batch makes 6 each. So into each the bottom of the cupcake liners goes, evenly divide up the crust mixture. I like a lot of crust. What can I say? Especially if it's a graham cracker crust.
We should get those big muffin tin things.
More crust, more better. Okay, so you get the idea. And then you can just use the back of a spoon to press the crumbs down a little bit. But Anne was all excited because she said, oh gosh, use the back of a plastic cup. And that works perfectly. So great idea, Anne. Love that. So just press it in there and it works really well. Always looking for shortcuts. And then get this into the oven. We're baking these 325 for about 5 minutes. And then they're going to go back in the oven again with our cheesecakes, but we're just going to pre-bake them a little bit so they'll be a little bit crisp for the crust. Okay, for the cheesecake filling, this is so easy breezy. 1 block of cream cheese. Making a whole cheesecake is kind of intimidating to me, I admit it. Makes me a little nervous. These I can handle, they're right up my alley. Then we've got some sugar, vanilla, and I just kind of eyeball it, teaspoon or 2. 1 egg, and I'm using some fresh lemon juice. If you just had the refrigerated lemon juice, that would work fine too. Either one. I love the idea of a little bit of lemon juice. This is such a rich mixture, and I like the idea of a little bit of lemon flavor too. I love lemon cheesecake, so you could actually do a little bit of zest in there if you wanted to make more of a lemon cheesecake, and then do a little bit of a lemon pie filling on top, but we'll do that another time. We're sticking with the whole Valentine's Day theme here, so just about 1.5 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice, or the bottled stuff. So the key to good cheesecake, and I've learned this from my pastry chefs, is you really gotta get the lumps and the bumps out of that cream cheese. And that takes time. If you don't get them out now, you're gonna have a bumpy, lumpy cheesecake, and nobody wants that. So use the electric mixer, and you need to beat it until it's smooth. What do they say? You can't rush a good thing. spatula, and there's still a few bumps around the edges there, so I'm going to use a spatula and get in there and give it one more mix. There we go. That's looking nice and smooth. All right. Now, at home, let these bake a little bit longer. So about 5 minutes. And now we're going to do our cheesecake filling. I love using, and let's see if I can find one here, one of these little scoops, because they just make things so easy. So if you've got to get, you know, filling into little cupcake liners, you could certainly spoon it in, but these really work nicely. So this is our cheesecake batter. These are a total make ahead because then these need to get into the refrigerator, and you need to bake and then get in the refrigerator and cool. Bob loves cheesecake. He's a big fan, so he would be all over this. Got to bring him one of these or two for Valentine's Day. And by the way, I have a cooking demonstration, 2 of them. It's going to be a ton of fun coming up in a couple weeks, or even, yeah, closer than that. March 1st, I'm going to be in Fond du Lac at Ag Days, so I hope you'll come and join me. It is a blast. I'm doing 2 different cooking classes, so you'll get to watch me cook up some recipes and then get to try them afterwards. So mark your calendars. Fond du Lac Ag Days, March 1st. It's going to be a ton of fun. Okay, so it's just enough batter to fill 6 of these. And then it goes back into the oven for another 20 minutes or so. Okay, now come with me. After they bake, you pop them into the refrigerator, let them cool, and right before serving, there's all sorts of things that you can do to dress these up and make them look gorgeous. You can take some fresh berries, some fresh raspberries, fresh strawberries, kind of decorate them that way. You can, as I mentioned, you know, whatever flavor you're looking for, you can do, you know, fresh blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, or you can take a shortcut and use some canned pie filling. I thought for Valentine's Day, strawberry pie filling would be really nice. So it doesn't get much easier than this. Just take a spoon. And I want to just show you the crust and what they look like. So if you want to put them on a pretty tray, see, I go heavy on the crust, and in my book, that is a good thing. If you want to just bring them to the office, you can put a little of the pie filling just as is on top, but if you want to present them, like for the ladies' luncheon or on a pretty tray for Valentine's Day, bring them to the table, get that real wow factor. And the foil liners make it so easy for these just to pull right off. Take a little bit of the strawberry pie filling and just kind of spoon it over the top, and if it's kind of fallen down a little bit, that I think it looks pretty for the presentation. And there you go. Pretty, pretty, and so easy. Talk about things we love. Making these mini little cheesecake cupcakes just doesn't get much easier than that, and they're absolutely delicious. And you know what? They came from your kitchen and from your heart. So I think that making things for Valentine's Day homemade is just extra special. And by the way, we'll put the recipe for these on our website.